Mental Health Matters, a speech to inspire and uplift. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when the weight on our shoulders feels too heavy to bear, when the voices in our own minds whisper doubts louder than the world ever could, and in those moments we ask ourselves, am I alone in this? Let me tell you something right now, you are not alone. This world, this life, it will test you. It will shake you. It will make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. But hear me when I say this. Your mental health matters. Your mind, your soul, your well-being, they matter. We live in a time where we celebrate success, but we hide our struggles. We smile for the cameras, but cry behind closed doors. We post our victories, but bury our pain. And I ask you, why? Why do we treat our wounds in silence when the world is full of people who understand? The silent struggle, mental health is not something we can afford to ignore. It is not just a topic for experts or professionals. It is a human issue, a reality that touches every single person in this room, whether directly or indirectly. Some of you might be fighting battles no one knows about, waking up every morning with a heaviness in your chest that you can't explain. Going to work, going to school, putting on a brave face while inside, you're screaming for help. Some of you might have loved ones who are struggling, family members, friends, coworkers, people who seem fine on the outside but are barely holding on. And here's the thing, we often don't recognize it until it's too late, until we hear the heartbreaking words, I never knew they were struggling. We must open our eyes, we must open our hearts. Because the truth is, mental health struggles do not have a look. They do not discriminate based on age, race, or success. Depression does not care how much money you have in the bank. Anxiety does not care about the number of followers you have. And pain does not care if the world thinks you have it all together. Breaking the stigma. For too long, mental health has been treated like a weakness. We've been told to tough it out, to be strong, to just get over it. But tell me, how is it that we recognize the importance of physical health, yet we ignore the mind that controls it all? If someone has a broken leg, we don't tell them to just walk it off. If someone has a high fever, we don't tell them to just think positive. So why do we do this with mental health? Enough is enough. We need to stop treating mental health like it's something to be ashamed of. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it is one of the strongest, most courageous things you can do. Imagine if we started treating mental health with the same urgency as physical health. Imagine if we checked in on our loved ones, not just when they look sick, but when they sound different, when they withdraw, when their energy shifts. Because sometimes the strongest people, the ones who are always there for everyone else, are the ones who need help the most. The power of speaking up. I want to share something personal with you. There was a time in my life when I thought I had to handle everything on my own, when I thought asking for help was a sign of failure, when I believed that no one would understand what I was going through. But I was wrong. The moment I opened up, the moment I allowed myself to be vulnerable, I realized something powerful. There is strength in sharing our struggles. Because when we speak up, we create space for others to do the same. When we are honest about our pain, we give others permission to be honest about theirs. We are not meant to go through life alone. We are not meant to fight silent battles in the dark. We are meant to connect, to support, to uplift one another. And if there is one thing I want you to take away from today, it is this. You are not alone in your struggles. There is help, there is hope, and there is healing. Checking in on each other now, I want to challenge every single person in this room to do something. Starting today, I want you to be intentional about checking in on the people around you. Not just with a simple, how are you? But with a real, how are you really? Because too often people will say, I'm fine, when they are anything but fine. Too often people are waiting, hoping that someone will notice that they are not okay. So don't just take I'm fine as an answer. Look deeper, listen closely. Offer a space where people feel safe enough to share their truth. And if you are the one struggling, I need you to hear this. You do not have to go through this alone. There are people who care. There are people who love you. There are people who want to help, but they can't if you don't let them in. Finding hope in the darkness. I know that for some of you, the darkness feels overwhelming. I know that some days it feels like the pain will never end, but I am here to tell you it gets better. Your story is not over. Whatever you are going through right now, I promise you there is light beyond this darkness. There is joy beyond this pain. There is a future for you that is worth fighting for. And I'm not just saying this to be motivated. I am saying this because I have seen it. I have seen people who thought they had reached their breaking point rise again. I have seen people who believed they had nothing left find purpose, find healing, find happiness. You are stronger than you think. You have more inside of you than you realize, and I need you to hold on long enough to see the beauty of what's ahead. A promise to ourselves, so let's make a promise right here, right now. A promise to take mental health seriously. A promise to check in on our friends, to ask how are you and mean it. A promise to be kind, not just to others, but to ourselves. A promise to fight for our own peace, because our mental health is just as important as our physical health. The road ahead is not always easy, but I need you to keep walking, because the world needs you. Not just the perfect version of you, the real you. The one who feels, the one who struggles, the one who fights and refuses to give up. So stand tall, speak up, reach out, because your mental health matters, and so do you. Thank you.